Is it worth almost $200 to skip the lines at Universal Orlando?
We're gonna find out.
Science, baby!
Science, 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 science. Quincy and I are at Universal Studios today to see if it's going to be worth getting their Express Pass for almost $200. Express Pass is their skip the line option. We're gonna see if it's worth it. Are you so excited?
I'm so excited.
Here we go, baby. And I don't.
All right, now I do have Express Pass.
I do not.
We did flip a coin for it and I won, so the fates were on my side.
Maybe I'll have a good day.
I think you'll have a good day.
I feel pretty good.
We have a ton of attractions across both parks, both Universal Studios and Universal's Islands of Adventure. And we're gonna try to get through them all and see what the big difference is in the wait times that we wait.
It's gonna be a difference.
Maybe.
We're gonna find out.
But we are gonna start with Emma. You said this was your favorite, right? Despicable Me, Minion, Mayhem.
Yeah, I did. I love Minion.
I don't think this is actually Emma's favorite, but we're gonna ride it first.
Quincy, honey, it's gone, okay? I know. I know you miss him. Maybe we can go to his swamp today, if we have time. Maybe we can see what happens.
Despicable Me Minion Mayhem is a dark sort of theater style attraction where you are with Gru and his daughters, and it actually does make me cry.
This one makes you cry.
This one makes me cry because the girls, it's their adoptiversary and it's really sweet and they think Gru forgot and then he didn't. Sorry, spoilers. But I really do like this ride. It just always has a super long wait because it's right at the front.
So I better go ahead and hop in.
Well, Godspeed, Emma.
You too, Miss Q.
Posted 60-minute wait. Let's see.
60. I'm going to start my timer.
See our difference.
Here we go. I'm gonna wait until I'm literally right inside the queue. All right.
Best of luck.
Here we go. See you later. So as you can see, it really is a pretty long line.
So you can see that there actually is a pretty lengthy wait for the Express Pass line right now.
I have actually waited in this queue for a long time before.
That can happen, especially since this is the first ride you see when you get in the park.
But they do, for the kiddos that you're with, have a lot of screens. They talk a lot about the movie.
But it's moving quickly, so hopefully we don't wait too long.
One thing that I think is very important to note is that the first several rows of this queue is directly in the sunshine. And they do have a handful of fans, but that's not always going to be enough.
There's two pals in different lines for science.
I'm already sweating that much. I hope you can see that. It's running down my face. I'm not joking about how hot it is.
Now my line is moving a lot faster than Emma's.
Can you see this?
Express. I'm doing an X with my fingers, but I'm also holding the camera. I didn't really think it through.
Look at her over there with her hair being windblown.
I'm now here where I can see the Halloween Horror Nights pumpkin set up. I am so excited for Halloween Horror Nights. Emma says she doesn't want to go because she's scared, so that means I should definitely drag her with me, right?
I do not want to attend. I hate being scared or fearful or haunted or Halloween Horror Nights. I don't want to come. The fun fact about this ride is that when it first opened, it was 3D, and as you can see here, there were a lot of issues with motion sickness to the point where it took them 7 years. 7 years later, they ended up changing it to a 2D framed ride. It's still the same ride, it's just 2D rather than 3D because it was making people that sick.
All right, I've just entered the pre-show room. I'm technically still in the line until I get up there, so we're still running the timer. Lengthy express wait.
Also, if you are prone to motion sickness, right here you can see there is stationary seating for this ride if you're interested in seeing what it's like without risking a potential illness.
All right, I'm in the pre-show, and I guess I'm about to get turned into a Minion, and then Emma will soon after, so I guess this is probably the end of the video. But no filming on Universal Ride, so I'll see you after. It makes me cry when Gru saves Agnes and then it's the adoptiversary. and then you walk out into a party. I look scary. Now, one thing that's changed is that you did used to kind of just have a walk-through distance dance party with the Minion in here, and now you can actually get close and meet the Minion and dance with them and take your picture.
I'm still waiting. She's done. She cried, and now she's gonna go off on her own journey.
Now we go from a roller coaster of emotion to a real roller coaster.
One thing I love about this queue is that it is like Gru's house. As you can see, the girls have drawn on the walls pictures of Gru, and then it still has some of his famous decor, but with the girls' lovely touches.
Greetings, recruits.
All right.
Welcome to my home, I am Gru.
Alrighty, so I finished up on Minions. It only took me a little bit less than 42 minutes. That is not bad at all. I mean, I thought it was going to be closer to 60, so I'll definitely take that.
Our next stop is Ride Rockit, which is one that Express Pass is a huge help for. Now, to get Express Pass, you can get it in the morning. I got it this morning by walking up to just the Express Pass stand right in the entrance of the park. You can buy it there. You can buy it at a couple other locations as you come in. There will be signs for it. You can always ask the team member. You can also add it to your tickets in advance. So if you know you want to use Express Pass before you get here, you can do that. But don't be afraid to come and see how the crowd levels are and then decide you want Express Pass too. The Express Pass prices do vary based on date and demand. Today, my Express Pass, the standard Express Pass that lets you skip each Express Pass line once, was $170 for 2 parks. The unlimited Express Pass, which lets you skip the lines as many times as you want at the Express attractions, was around $200. I would say that if you're only doing one Universal park, you're going to be hard pressed to find a day where Express Pass is going to be worth it, unless it's extremely, extremely busy. But there just aren't that many attractions, and even if you want to ride everything, in most cases, you could get through it all without Express. You just might end up in some longer lines. Hollywood Ride Rockit is one of Universal's more traditional coasters. Not really like the coasters you'll find at Disney World. It's a steel coaster, it's huge, it's got this crazy inverted lift hill, and I'm gonna ride it. Hopefully it doesn't give me a headache. The wait time is currently posted 30 minutes. We'll see how long we wait with Express. And look at that, a shorter wait time for this major coaster than at Minion's Mayhem. Wild. Now the really cool thing about this ride is that you do get to pick the music you listen to while you're on it. And there are secret songs. I'll tell you more about it, hang on. Now many rides at Universal Orlando you cannot bring bags on unless they can go around your waist. Ride Rockit is one of the few rides that you can't bring anything on, including cell phones. You actually do have to go through metal detectors. So you do get a free locker for the duration of your ride. To get into it, you just scan your park ticket. It's pretty easy peasy.
I found her. Are you already done?
Rocket, yeah.
All right.
You wanna know how to make it play Rainbow Connection?
Yeah.
When you sit down in the chair, press the Ride Rockit logo for 5 seconds. A keypad will pop up. Type in 902.
Are you lying?
No.
902.
Kermit will sing you Rainbow Connection.
Okay, I really want that to happen.
You gotta be fast. So right when you sit down, press that.
902. I don't want to forget. Okay.
902.
Well, I better go hop in line. So
I'm gonna go hop in not line.
As you should. So Ride Rockit is one of my favorites actually here. This is one of the roller coasters that really made me fall in love with the roller coasters.
Roller coasters aren't really my jam. I get overwhelmed on them. But I do like Ride Rockit. I maybe just have to close my eyes for a lot of it.
If you have a fanny pack like I do today, you can leave it on, but it has to be around your waist. And if I had not brought my water bottle today, as you can see, I wouldn't even need to utilize the locker. Also, fun fact, they're very small. Your lounge fly won't fit. Found that out the hard way. Unless you squish it. Ride Rockit, and it took me 40 minutes until I got to the staircase where they separate you, and then they did stick me in the single rider line, so it took me about 10 more minutes after I got to that point. But all in all, 50 minutes for a big coaster like this is not bad. I'm a little shaky. I need a coffee. That might make me shake more. I need some water.
Most Universal attractions in both parks are included with the Express Pass. Most notably, Velocicoaster is not, and neither is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Those just are a little too popular, I think, to get included with Express Pass. Now, there are some that are included in Express Pass that we are going to skip today, including my arch nemesis Jimmy Fallon's ride, Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, primarily because I don't want to get violently sick. And that ride is a motion sickness prone person's nightmare. Even worse than Minions.
All right, so next on our list is going to be the Transformers ride. I'm actually very excited about this one. I was just at Universal yesterday, and I normally skip this one. So I'm excited to see if it's better than I normally think it is.
Now we are filming this in mid-August, so you can see they are setting up for Halloween Horror Nights. I am so excited. Also, crowds, it is back to school time, so crowds are a little lower, but not super, super low. Now I will say that crowds-wise, it does feel about the same, if a little more crowded than the last time we did this experiment about a year ago. Health concerns a little lower right now, more people are traveling, and I definitely get that sense in the park. So it'll be interesting if there is as drastic a difference as we found last time. Oh my gosh, I've been distracted. Look at this shirt. Biff's Automotive Detailing. That's such a good shirt. Our next stop is Transformers The Ride 3D.
This ride is actually a dark ride where you're going to join your friends in a Nest vehicle.
So you are in a car that is actually driving around, but there are many parts where you stop and look at screens.
And you're going to join Optimus Prime and Bumblebee to try to save the universe. It is a 3D ride.
A little similar to a much more intense Remy's Ratatouille adventure, but with a track. I think this is a super fun ride, even if I don't really know what's going on.
So again, if you're prone to motion sickness, this might be one of those that kind of gets you. It says right now that the wait is
Posted wait time 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Let's see how we wait with Express.
And let's get going. I'm actually racking my brain to see what I genuinely know about Transformers. I've been thinking on this since we got in line, so a few minutes. I've come up with little to nothing.
The vibe of this ride is pretty much that the Megatron and his Autobots? No, Megabots, no.
They're cars that are aliens.
Autobots? I don't remember what they're called.
I'm sorry, Transformers fans. You don't deserve this.
Decepticons.
Also, while I'm waiting in line for Transformers, it's just making me think about how grateful I am to have my phone back. When I was in line for Ride Rockit, of course, I could not have anything with me, and that was a long 50 minutes. It's just me and my thoughts. If you are going to ride Ride Rockit and you're alone, make sure to check for that single rider line. It's going to go a lot faster than the standby queue, but sometimes, like today, it was not open for me. So be ready for that, and be ready to be by yourself and quiet and thinking for a long time.
The Decepticons are here because they want the AllSpark, which is a glowing blue box, and in any superhero or robot movie, everybody wants a glowing blue box. That's all I've learned. I know that from Avengers. We apparently have it. We're recruits at Nest, which is a military organization, and so we have to protect the
Shia LaBeouf is in it. Megan Fox, right?
So we have to protect the AllSpark from the evil robots. I don't know if I'm qualified for the fate of the Earth to be in my hands. I just joined Nest like 5 minutes ago.
Mission go.
Okay, so it only took me 15 minutes to get into the AC, which I can really appreciate. Again, this ride actually is one with a single rider. I am here for science, so I will not be taking it. But if you're alone and you want to save some time, that's a great option. My favorite part of that ride is when you go under the Megatron, who's just
knocked out. His red eyes go dim. And you're like, yeah, we won. And also, it really does feel like you're in a Transformers movie. Like, something about that ride system gets very immersive if you let yourself be immersed. And I felt like I was riding through the streets of a very dark city instead of in sunny Florida. And also, the giant battle robots were fighting in front of me, which is not currently happening outside. I waited 15 minutes for the Transformers ride, so all in, not a bad wait at all, and a super fun ride. I don't ride that one a lot because I do like Spider-Man better than I like the Transformers ride, just because I like Spider-Man better. But gosh, is it a fun ride. I should ride it more. Park opened at 9 a.m. this morning. We are through 2 hours of the park day already. I've ridden 3 rides, so I'm not making like super speedy time, but I'm making pretty good time. I think we're gonna blaze through these. Oh, good idea, you guys. Alright, our next stop is a ride that I do typically skip when I'm at Universal for fun. But I don't mind riding it because in my opinion, it's so bad it's good. And I get to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's also one of those rides that every time I have friends, I'm like, oh, you guys, we gotta ride Fast and Furious Supercharged. And then they're like, oh, is it good? And I'm like, yeah, it's super good. And then they're like, why did you drag us on that? And I'm like,
I just hopped off of Transformers and it took me 58 minutes. That's a little bit longer than the 45. I mean, it's a fun ride. I will say my final thoughts on it are that I am not someone who gets easily motion sick, and I did feel a few moments where I was like a little queasy, woozy. I don't know what that means. So if you are easily impacted by motion sickness or dizziness, this one you probably really should be cautious of.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, here I come.
Alrighty, so the next on our list is Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Oh, I wonder if Emma's ever been on this.
I have actually never ridden this. Quincy said it's pretty cool.
Coming to see ya.
I'm excited to see what it's like. I've not done it, and she said it's one of her favorites.
Can't stop me.
I'm actually very excited.
Fast and Furious Supercharged is an attraction that is where the old Earthquake attraction used to be. Now, Earthquake was one of my favorite rides at Universal. It was super, super fun. But, this is a replacement. Basically, as you can see, we are walking up into the Fast and Furious kind of hangout areas and garage. And we'll get to see the gang from the Fast and Furious movies. The plot line is that the FBI is onto us, and they're coming after us. And we gotta get away from them. And the whole gang's there, and there's a car chase, obviously. It couldn't be a Fast and Furious. Well, it's a bus chase. You're in a party bus.
There's the Express, and they also have a single rider line. Let's see, what does the wait time say? It says 45. Here we go. I can already tell this is gonna be a tough one because it's completely in the sun.
The queue, you get to see all the cars from the movie, and a lot of it is inside, which is nice.
I have only been in line for a handful of minutes, and this is already the worst I've felt in a line so far, because as you can see, this is just open.
You ever chugged a coffee in the Fast and Furious queue?
I'm walking directly into the shade. Even better.
Now what's super fun is that the pre-show for this ride does have live actors. And I love a live actor moment. Now, similar to the Minions ride we started with, this is one ride that has sort of like a giant pre-show that dumps a lot of people, so the line will move a ton of people through, and then no one for a while.
Hey everybody, it's me, Dom's sister. Well, another race just wrapped, and it looks like my brother and another car for his collection.
Not surprised.
Honestly, I don't know why anybody challenges him.
I wouldn't either.
You guys knew you were going to a party, right?
Yeah.
You guys seem so excited.
Now, just as a note, Universal does post wait times to the pre-show, and Fast and Furious typically has a wait after the pre-show as well. I am timing that too, even though it's not technically a part of my express wait time, which was only 8 minutes, but we'll see how long this little part takes us. Whether you have express or not, you will wait in this, and it is tacked on top of that posted wait time, so just a heads up. Party bus!
So the ride has just been delayed. We'll see if that impacts my wait time.
It's so bad it's good. It really is so bad it's good. My favorite part is when The Rock makes a joke for grown-ups about the size of his gun and then winks at the bus. Kids, you'll get it when you're older.
5 announcements. They've announced 5 times that the ride is delayed, and I did just check the app, and it also is showing that it's down on the app, so this is probably really going to impact my wait time. They just announced that it's back up. We're only at 34 minutes. I, again, don't know how far I'm going to go, but Quincy says this is worth it, so I'm glad I stuck it out.
Now, if you have limited time at Universal, that ride is not very good. I don't recommend waiting for it.
I don't even know the concept of this ride.
The best part is that the plot is that you're supposed to be going to a party, and this is the party. Just like 3 cars sitting under some strobe lights. Oh, it's amazing. It's just peak comedy. I think next up, we get to head to my actual favorite part of the park. Diagon Alley, Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I literally had a dream that I was at Hogwarts last night having a dance party in the Great Hall with Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy, which, unclear why. But apparently I was excited to come to Universal today.
Unless you just love Fast and Furious, don't go on this ride. Quincy played the ultimate prank on me. I just keep thinking about the Olive Garden when you hear your family. That is Olive Garden, right? Sorry, Fast and Furious. It only took me 42 minutes, and with 5 delays, that's not that bad. I will not wait for this again unless it is for science. Quincy, this one goes to you, sister.
Diagon Alley. It smells like fish. I don't hate it. It's making it feel very British. I don't know if Diagon Alley would actually smell like fish, but maybe it would. I mean, honestly, there's a jelly deal shop, so. Now, as you can see, there are more people in Diagon Alley than in other areas of the park. That's pretty standard. Lots of folks head to Diagon Alley at any given time. Same is true for Hogsmeade over in the other park. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter is by far the most popular part of Universal, and with good reason. It is amazingly themed. It makes me so happy to be here. I'm having a hard time not getting distracted. Self-knitting needles. Wow. I saw some people asking in the comments what Hogwarts house some of our new on-camera faces are. Emma is a Hufflepuff, shocker there. Hannah is a Ravenclaw, and Sage is a Slytherin. Oop, I was wondering why it was so crowded up here. It looks like Escape from Gringotts, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts has a delay. So I guess we'll move on to the next and pop back here in a little bit. Also great news, this has been a mystery for me for a long time. Every time I come to Diagon Alley, I wonder why there is this goblin or elf with his head turned around and a fish on his head. Turns out it is actually featured in the Diagon Alley set in the actual movies, but it's only ever seen once. So that's why it was so hard for me to catch. As you see it behind Harry, it's blurry for like a moment in Chamber of Secrets. But now I know, and I can stop being haunted by the backwards elf man. To get from Diagon Alley area over to Simpsons Land and Men in Black, you can either cross the bridge directly into Simpsons Land or take a slightly more scenic route around past the theater back here, which is what I'm doing. And just like that, we're coming up on Men in Black Alien Attack. Now, Alien Attack is a shooter style attraction. It is competitive. You do get points. I am very good at this ride. It's also my favorite shooter attraction in all of Orlando. Yes, beating Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Yes, even beating Toy Story Mania. I just think this ride is so fun and so well done. You're basically going through a training exercise to join the Men in Black. And of course, things go awry and you have to help shoot some aliens. But it is so fun. And there's no targets, which is what I really like because it feels more immersive. It's also funny. But this is another one where I have to make a pit stop to a locker first because I didn't remember to wear a hip pack instead of a crossbody. But it is what it is. Now, when you're packing your bag or bags for Universal, something to keep in mind is that these smaller lockers are complimentary when you go on these attractions, but these bigger lockers are not. So if you have a bag that is too big to fit in the smaller lockers, you will have to pay for lockers when you're going on the attractions. It's about $2 while you ride, so it's not too bad, but when it's free otherwise, that can be really annoying. Now, your whole party doesn't have to stick to one locker. Every entrance ticket can open a locker, so everybody has a way to open a locker. It's just that if the bag is too big to fit, you will have to buy a bigger one. Time to fight some aliens. I'm so excited for this one. So that way is the non-express, but we're going this way. Express, baby. Current posted wait is 35 minutes. Oh, that air conditioning. Now, one thing about the express for this ride is that it does skip the pre-show, so you miss a little bit of that story. Pre-show is cool, the queue is actually really cool, but this is the coolest room and we still get to see it with express. This was my favorite room because it's got all the Men in Black weapons on the wall. Hope you guys are ready to see a pro score on this ride. I'm an alien hunting master.
All right, we are at 40 minutes. We're gonna see how this goes. I mean, we're already over the time, so let's see how long it takes to get to the end.
I'm gonna win. So the max score on this ride is 999,999. I did 375,000 today. For the record, most people in my car were in 5 digits. Not my best score ever, but not my worst. I wonder if Emma's any good at that ride. All right, I just waited 6.5 minutes for Men in Black. So not bad at all with Express, especially not as bad as 35 minutes.
All right, just hopped off. So it did take me, in fact, 53 minutes. Oh, also my score was 53,625. I don't know if that's good or bad. For me, that's pretty average.
All right, I made it into Simpsons Land, aka Krusty Land. And we're going on the Simpsons ride. This is another simulator ride. Those who've been to Universal a while ago might remember it as the Back to the Future ride. That is what I wish it was still, but I do like the Simpsons ride. I think it's funny and kooky, and its only fault is that it's not Back to the Future, which is pretty much every ride's fault, really. It's got a posted wait of 40 minutes, which is not super long for this ride. I see this ride get so busy, but we get to skip a lot of that with Express Pass. All right, I'm already on the boarding ramp, so I'm out of the express lane. Wasn't even a minute. I walked right up into the part where you get put with the regular queue, but we'll see how long I have to wait for the rest of it.
So as I'm hopping on this, it's just now occurring to me that Disney owns the Simpsons now. So how long do we think this will be able to stay here? I'd like to know.
All right, it was 2 minutes, and I'm here in the pre-show room. So literally 2 minutes for a Simpsons ride, which I've never waited that short for this, so that's awesome.
Where we make all the wonder and imagination that fuels our park. Hurry, put on these light vests.
Now, I am prone to motion sickness, and I will say that ride did make me a little motion sick today. It doesn't always. My pro tip for motion sickness is when you start feeling it, try to look maybe a little behind you or a little to the side and see if you can see something stationary in the room instead of just the screen and your car. That's what helps me. I basically looked back and watched the edge of the screen, and I felt better every time I did that. So not too bad though. Oh my gosh, there's a Krusty the Clown meet and greet. That ride is especially fun if you're a Disney World fan. There are a few digs at Disney in there. One of the rides you end up on is pretty much a dupe for Small World. One of the rides is a dupe for Pirates, but with dinosaurs. There's a joke about how the employees have to be clean shaven, which isn't even the case anymore.
Just hopped off of the Simpsons ride. It only took me 10 minutes, which I actually am thrilled about because Men in Black took me an hour. So this was a good balance. I'm glad it did not take me 30 like it said. And now on to E.T. And then I go to the next park where Quincy's already done. I just miss her. How are you doing, Quincy? What are you doing with all this free time? It has been raining on and off for most of the day, but in between rain, it has been so nice because the sun's not out. since this afternoon. It's been really great. And right now it feels perfect. And I know it's about to downpour.
This is my favorite place in Universal with this Shrek cutout. Oof, pretty big crowd over here at ET Adventure. Another time, and I'm thankful for Express Pass. It's a 25-minute wait, which isn't too bad. And I actually do consider ET worth waiting that. But in this instance, I don't have to. Just like that, cruising through the express lane.
I'm really hoping it's not 25 minutes. The line doesn't look too bad. We're gonna see what it looks like. One fun fact about this ride that I think is so neat is it has been open since 1990. That's longer than I've been alive. I also think you can tell this ride has been open since 1990.
It was 1 minute up to the doors to head inside. So the pre-show.
I have seen E.T., of course, but it's been a really long time, and the only thing I can remember about E.T. is E.T. phone home. I know that's the wrong finger, but I have a lot of stuff in my hands.
Interplanetary passport acquired for phoning home, you know. You can't really see anything because it's so dark, but the interesting thing here is that you do actually get funneled into the same space as everybody else to get your interplanetary passport, and then Express keeps left once you enter the forest, so you still get to skip the line after the pre-show, which is different than most other rides. Alright, so we are in the woods, as it happens, and I'm following this very empty Express trail compared to the very not empty standby trail to up here. So the ET Adventure is a dark ride where you ride on bikes just like in the ET movie and you help get ET home. You actually ride your bike so far, you go to space and to ET's home planet. It's a little unhinged. Steven Spielberg's in the pre-show, but it's honestly a delight. I love this ride. Okay, so interestingly enough, I did get fully stuck on ET. I was stuck in there for like 10-ish minutes, maybe 15. The lights came on. I really thought I was gonna get evacuated off of the ride. We did not, it came back on. Now, when stuff like that does happen, Universal does want you to be able to experience that ride or another ride of your choice for the inconvenience. So I was given a single attraction Express Pass. Now, of course, I have Express today, as did the other people in my car. But what this means is that for an Express ride that I'd already ridden, that if I wanted to ride it again, because I have Standard Express, I can only ride with Express one time. With this, I could go through the Express line again. So I'm gonna hang on to it. Something else to keep in mind is that these tickets typically last a while. For instance, this one that I was just given doesn't expire until December. So I could pop this in my wallet, and if I'm here and really want to hop on a ride with a long line, I could use this anytime before December 1st.
E.T. took all of 2.5 minutes. Thank goodness. I really appreciate that. And what's kind of ironic is I actually really like E.T. I mean, I feel like I love Peter Pan's Flight. And this one's a little bit more 90s, but still fun, you know? I just like hearing him say my name at the end. Emma, you know?
Now there is one more ride that Express is not valid on in addition to Velocicoaster and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. And that is actually Turn It On Flyers, which is a Jurassic Park ride, although I can't ride that anyway, because you do have to be with a child under a certain height to be able to ride Turn It On Flyers. So if anybody has a child they want to loan me, I'm just kidding. Don't loan me your child. A lot's happening right now. I just looked up and Doc Brown from Back to the Future is walking past me. And ahead of me there are fish from SpongeBob roller skating. And Squidward is here. Hi! I love this. So for the past few years, character meet and greets have been distanced and limited in Universal, but as you can probably tell today, they are back where you can actually get close to people. You can see Bumblebee up there in full, you know, robotic glory, meeting guests. Looks like a little guy scared. Of course, the fish are out roller skating. We saw the Shrek and Donkey meet and greet earlier, and Fiona. It's just really cool that you can start to meet characters again. All right, I made it back to Harry Potter World. I am headed to see what the wait is at Gringotts and then skip the line, baby.
Escape from Gringotts is a roller coaster type ride. There are lots of dark screens. And you go with Harry and all your friends to try to get through, of course, Gringotts, while Bellatrix and Voldemort have some nefarious plans going on. And you have to make sure you can escape the bank.
I will note the attraction seats do not accommodate all body types. So when you get here, go ahead and try out the tester seat, which is right over there under that awning, right there.
So this is another one of those rides that you do have to utilize the lockers. Unlike Ride Rockit, where I had to put everything away, I will just have to put my water bottle, and I will choose to put my bag away, but I will also choose to keep my phone with me.
Since Gringotts was down for a few hours, you can see that it's pretty crowded over here. This is just the line for the lockers that I'm currently in, which usually you can just walk right into the lockers, so this should be pretty interesting. I wonder how much time Express is actually going to save us with Gringotts, but this is our last ride in this park before we go over to Islands of Adventure, so I think we gotta test it out.
It's saying it's 70 minutes on the app, and we're gonna see how long it takes us. I actually do. I'm not super excited to wait 70 minutes.
It's a 70-minute posted wait. Let's see what happens.
For me, it's probably going to be a very long wait, and I did not bring my water bottle because, of course, I cannot. So there's a lovely stand over there. It has some beer, some fruit, some water, and it's gonna be a long wait. I hope you like this song. I have nothing else because the wait's so long. Okay, so it looks like I probably got in at the right time. It's not looking pretty outside. And we are getting into one of my favorite parts of this queue. Another thing that I think is important to note is that I hopped in when it was 70 minutes, and after recently checking the app, it's up to 100 minutes because it was down earlier today. That might get higher. I don't know. But I think even though 70 feels like a while, it's not that bad. So as you can see, we are getting closer to some of the amazing animatronics that they have in this queue. This is one of my favorite parts of the queue because the attention to detail is really so impressive. And the fact that this is not even the ride, it is just the queue, I think just really shows that they were doing a good job with the Wizarding World. And as somebody who enjoys Harry Potter so much, I love this part of the line every single time I'm here. So one thing they do have back here is the security processing booths, which is actually very neat. It's where you can go and have your picture taken in front of a green screen while you wait. That's actually very nice. Just spoke with a team member and she said it should be about 15 minutes from here. We'll see if that works out. I hope so. She was incredibly sweet and so nice.
All right, I'm off Gringotts. So it was a 17-minute wait to the pre-show, 29 minutes in total, including the elevator ride. There's like an elevator ride that's part of your wait experience / pre-show. So definitely my longest full wait of the day, although it wasn't as long to the pre-show. It was only 17 minutes for me, even with a super backed up express lane.
Alrighty, so I just hopped off. It did take me 80 minutes. I didn't think that was that bad. I mean, the whole thing's inside. I had a water. It was very chill. I would wait that for this. I really love this ride.
I will say that one win that Disney's Genie Plus has over Express is that because Genie Plus can book up and be full, when you do go to wait in a Genie Plus line, they are hardly ever going to be backed up beyond a little bit at the very beginning of a window. Whereas here, if all morning people with Express can't ride Gringotts and they all go there right when it opens, there's no chance that that Express line books up. It just gets longer and you could end up waiting. Easy tip to avoid that though. Just give it some time. That Express line will go down. And honestly, 17 minutes is still a lot better than 70, so it's still Express, even if I wasn't walking on per se.
The rain seems to be holding off. I feel pretty good.
In true Orlando August fashion, it is raining, which means there's no one in line for baked potatoes. This unassuming green stand is one of my favorite places to grab lunch in all of Universal Orlando because they do have jacket potatoes, as you can see right here. Horrible news, friends. They are waiting on potatoes. They ran out and there are potatoes on the way, but they don't know how long, so I luckily have a backup lunch option planned, also potato based. All right, since my potato plan fell through, I'm gonna head over to the other park. I've got other potato plans over there.
So when you watch Harry Potter or like you're in the Wizarding World, Do you also feel the need to fake a British accent? Like, Ari, you're a wizard. I know it wasn't good. Don't shame me.
This is a really cool attraction queue because it is designed to look like King's Cross Station. Now, to ride Hogwarts Express, you do have to have admission to both parks. So, way they get you, because this is actually the transportation from Universal Studios over to Islands of Adventure is on the Hogwarts Express. It is not just a train, it's a full attraction with special effects and theming and things to see out the windows. So it's very, very cool and worth doing, but it is definitely pricey if you weren't planning on getting a 2-park ticket to get that 2-park just to ride this ride. I've actually never ridden this ride when it's raining, and she did ask me to take my rain jacket off before I get on. I assume so that the seats stay dry for others. That's interesting.
All right, so I have started my timer, and honestly, so far, you can see everybody's really moving up here. I don't really know what that means for me, but there's not that much of a line back here. So we're gonna see where they send us.
As you can see, people are walking through the brick wall to get to platform 9 3/4. Time for us to do so as well. Between platforms 10 and 9. 9 3/4, here we come. And here we are. Now the Hogwarts Express is actually 2 different experiences, depending on which direction you're going, whether you're going from Studios to Islands of Adventure or from Islands of Adventure to Studios. Most people prefer to go this way, from Studios to Islands of Adventure, because that is the way that they always take the train at the beginning of the books and movies from London, King's Cross Station, over to Hogsmeade and to Hogwarts. I, however, prefer the ride experience coming from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley / London, because you get to see a lot more fun stuff on that ride experience. You get to see Fred and George setting off fireworks, and I just really enjoy coming back the other way. You get to see the Malfoy Manor, but either way is great. If you can do both in one day, that's amazing. I recommend trying to ride it very early or very late in the day to try to get both, but because the line does get very, very long in the middle of the day. You remember how short it was when we got here?
If you're like me and you do a lot of theme parks solo, or sometimes you just don't want to talk to your family all that much, which after you're together for a long time, you might just run out of things to talk about. I don't know. Always, always, always bring your extra charger and have a book on your phone, podcasts, whatever, if you know you're going to be waiting in a long line, games, heads up, anything if you want to play with your family. If you don't, I always have something with me. I always have a book downloaded just in case, because I don't know, I love just coming to the theme parks anytime I can. So I always have one just in case. And also, pro tip, Universal's Wi-Fi is great. I mean, I'm able to get on Amazon right now. Perfect Wi-Fi, and I have no signal. Utilize that, and it's free.
Alright, welcome aboard. We just ask that you remain seated. In case of an emergency, there's a switch underneath the seat that unlock this door. Otherwise, relax, enjoy, and safe travels.
All right, just like that, we're off the Hogwarts Express. Now, speaking of Express, it was a 27-minute wait with Express Pass. So it was definitely still a pretty lengthy wait. I will say it's times like that where I'm kind of like, is this worth $170 when I'm still waiting 30 minutes under a posted 55? I don't know.
It only took me 18 minutes and it said it was going to be 35, so that's really good. And to me, I'm happy to wait whatever for this ride. I know that it's probably not everyone's favorite, but to me, it's just quick, it's neat, I never get tired of it.
Now perhaps the hottest Express tip I can give you is that certain Universal hotels, deluxe hotels, have Express Pass as a perk of staying there. So with the price of your per night hotel, you can also get Express and not have to pay for it when you're in the theme parks. That is the way to get Express in my opinion, because $170 for the 2-park standard Express, steep. Per person, you could spend $1,000 paying for your family to get Express if you had a family of 5. That's a lot. Of course, I prefer the simplicity of Express to the complication of Genie Plus, but boy, do I prefer the price of Genie Plus to Express. $15 versus almost $200. But on the bright side, we did have a magical journey on the train. Poseidon's Fury is not on our list today, but I am very excited that it is back open. This is a show about the gods that is very, very cool in my opinion. Oh, a duck! And when I was little, I was the kid that angered the gods. And it's like a core memory for me. It was my first Universal trip. And I got called out for angering the gods. But you know what? You can't stop me from angering the gods if I want to anger the gods. I'll do it. Alright, I'm headed into Seuss Landing, which is a kind of scary, kind of cute land. Our ride here in Seuss Landing is going to be the Cat in the Hat Dark Ride, which is 90% of the scary factor in this land. It is so scary. Like, Cat in the Hat is already a book where a giant cat man breaks into children's homes while their parents are away, and then against their wishes trashes the place and tells them to not tell their parents it happened. And it's like, kids, listen. If that happens, if anybody strange enters your home, whether your parents are there or not, immediately tell them. What? Why are we sharing that, Zax? They're at an impasse. What are we teaching the kids? So, like, that's obviously, you know, one issue with it. And on top of that, the Cat in the Hat animatronic is an absolute just nightmare. He fuels every scary dream I've had in the last 2 years. And you get so close to him. Okay, I think that might be a me thing. But, he's scary, okay? I guess I'll write it for science. But first, Who Hash time. Whenever I can't get my potato, my backup is tots. And there are some pretty good tots here. Another of my favorite quick service locations, or even really walk-up quick service locations in Universal Orlando, is at Islands of Adventure. It's Green Eggs and Ham, which is here obviously in Seuss Land. And they serve loaded tots here. They have carnitas tots, which I think are kind of new. Green Egg and Ham tots. I have had the Who Hash before, which comes in a can that says Who Hash on it. That is very cute and is sitting in my cabinet at home. But they also have Green Egg and Ham tots, which are green eggs, diced ham, white cheese sauce over tater tots, and that is what I got. There's that Who Hash can. My boyfriend has seriously been like, why is this can in the cabinet? And I'm like, don't get rid of that. That's my memories, my Who Hash. So here are those beautiful tots. They are huge tater tots, the white cheese sauce, the ham, the green eggs, sure enough, super green. Although I haven't had these before, and it actually doesn't look like they are food coloring green. It looks like they have like parsley or something in them that is making them green. Got a good bite here going. The tater tots are really big and fluffy, super crispy on the outside with like the soft warm potato on the inside, making me less sad about missing out on my potato lunch earlier. The eggs I think have spinach in them, which is what makes them green. Does it say that on the menu? But they taste a little spinachy, but mostly just like eggs. They're a little crumbly in a weird way. But they don't taste like heat lamp eggs, which was honestly what I was expecting. The ham is obviously delicious, and I think the big winner here is that white cheese sauce. They have that on most of the tots here. Oh, it's so good. Definitely a big enough portion size to be lunch. That's what I'm doing. Or a huge snack. Or a shareable snack. So, tot cheers. You know what the problem is with Florida rain in August? You put on your rain jacket to stay dry, and then you end up soaking wet in sweat. There is no winning. Alright, my tots are gone, which means I can't put it off any longer and I have to go ride Cat in the Hat. I do actually really love Seuss Landing. My parents read a lot of Dr. Seuss books to me when I was a kid. And the Cat in the Hat was not my favorite. I like to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, which actually is referenced here in this land too, at the store up here, which is very, very cool. But we unfortunately have to ride the Scary Cat in the Hat Dark Ride. Posted 35-minute wait. That's super long for this. It's probably because a lot of the attractions in this park are closed due to the rain right now. I have literally never in my life seen a wait this long for this ride. It is so long. It's so scary. I don't think that the Minions ride is supposed to make you sob, and I don't think the Cat in the Hat ride is supposed to make you fear for your life, but that's what happens to me. Unfortunately, weather is still bad in the park, so a lot of those outdoor attractions are still closed. But that's actually going to give us some interesting information to see how the wait times are when those outside or more popular attractions are closed. I am headed to the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, a very popular attraction, an indoor attraction, and one that typically has a longer wait. It's posted 45 right now, and you know what? That's honestly not that bad for the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. So let's see how long we wait with Express. All right, headed into the Daily Bugle via the Express lane. The plot of this ride is that all of the Spider-Man villains have come together to steal the Statue of Liberty, as one does, why not? And luckily, we happen to be on the case as Daily Bugle interns in their new news gathering mobiles. And antics do ensue. Do we help Spider-Man save the city and the Statue of Liberty? Maybe. With Express, I waited just 5 minutes for Spider-Man. So pretty good. That ride is definitely worth a little bit of a wait. Maybe like 30 minutes. I have waited 45 for it before. It's a very fun ride, but 5 minutes is real nice. I will say I did notice this time, Electro's teeth in that ride, scary.
Just hopped off of Spider-Man. It most definitely only took 20. I love Spider-Man. I know that there are a lot of complaints about rides like this one in Universal. Transformers is a great example of that. But I like the Spider-Man character and I like the Spider-Man IP. I think this is fun. It doesn't make me feel a little woozy like sometimes Transformers has in the past. I love this one. I'll ride this one almost every time I'm here.
It weirdly smells like haunted house. Like, you know the very distinct smell that Fog's machines make in haunted houses? That's what it smells like right now.
One thing that I think is actually really important to know is that unlike Disney World, when it rains in Universal, most people leave. They don't wait it out. They don't hold on. They just go. And so I think that's why a lot of my wait times have dropped since I came over to Island of Adventure, because there's not that many people here. I mean, you can kind of see in the background, there's not that many people here. I'm eager to see what Wizarding World looks like. I don't think it will be that bad though. The rain is still kind of happening. It's a sprinkle right now. I'm eager to see if it starts raining, what it'll look like again. But I think that's really nice and a little bit different from Disney. So if you're willing to wait out the rain, normally wait times will drop. And also, if you just wait till the end of the day, they're gonna drop.
All right, I've made it back to Hogsmeade and our final ride of the day, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
All right, so I've made it back into Hogsmeade. I've made my full circle. We're gonna go check out the wait time. Obviously, I could check it on the app, but I've gotten to the point where I am just here, so I'm gonna check it here.
Now this ride is what I would call an aggressive causer of motion sickness, even in people who are not typically prone to it. I close my eyes during most of the screen parts, because there are screens and physical sets. However, the big kicker here is how the ride vehicle actually works. It is the same kind of robot they actually use to build cars, and you basically go up on a swivel like this and just do this. So you get very jostled, and it can be a lot for people.
These rides are actually really well done, really well thought out, very exciting, especially compared to some of the other rides in Universal. I just think the detailing is really cool with these. But this ride, you get to go through all of Hogwarts, all of the Forbidden Forest, tons of fun things. This is already boding super well for us, proving our point about the rain and just waiting till the end of the night. Loving this.
Dumbledore's doing. Dumbledore, unlike you, Salazar, seems to bully all people, whether or not they possess magic.
So as you can probably tell, we are skipping a lot of the very cool parts of the queue. If the queue is important to you, which as a Harry Potter fan, it should be, you will miss some aspects of it. We are still getting a few of them though. Looks like the line is actually pretty much a walk-on for regular. Hopefully Emma gets that. Oh my gosh, this is definitely pretty much a walk-on. I'm in Express, but this is the standard queue next to me and there's nobody in it. Some enchanted benches for my tour of Hogwarts. And that wait was literally walking up here 3 minutes. Perhaps the only benefit I got from Express on that ride was a shorter walk. My walk took about 3 minutes. The walk from the front to the front without Express with a walk-on usually takes me about like 6 to 8 minutes. So a shorter walk, but it was a walk-on before the regular line too, posted 20. And there was no one there.
Just hopped off of Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, and it only took me 16 minutes. I'm very excited about that because even though the wait time was only 25, 16 is still great. So I'm thrilled. I'm gonna go grab my bag and find a Quincy.
All right, I've just done the math, and all in for 12 attractions with Express Pass, I was able to get through 12 attractions between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. I could easily go do a bunch more now that we're done with our list if I wanted to this evening. And I waited just over 2 hours all in today. So I think Emma waited 80 minutes for Gringotts. That was way more than half of the time that I spent in line total today. How am I spending my free time, you ask? With this Jurassic Park exclusive beer called the Isle of Nublar IPA. It's good stuff. Science!
Completed.
Science, check.
Done.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker.
Doctor. DDS.
DDS. We did some good science today, I think.
We did good science.
I waited all in a little over 2 hours. And you waited all in a lot more than that.
A lot more, but I think if you're coming for a multi-day vacation here, this is fine. Like if you have 1 day, I would consider that. But like to me, I got a lot done, and the park's not even closed yet.
The other thing is, Emma did the same list of rides as me with maybe an extra hour and a half, 2 hours on me finishing it. Like with time to spare for us to do more rides if we wanted to.
Yeah.
So is the $170 per person Express Pass worth it? Probably not, in my opinion. Now, it is a slower time of year, but today was relatively busy. There are a lot of international travelers here, and because of the rain, all of the rides that we rode, the wait times were driven way, way up in the middle of the day, and then way down at the end of the day, so it was definitely an interesting one. I would say Express Pass is an amazing perk if you happen to be staying at one of those deluxe hotels and get it for free as a perk. But I would not pay $170 for it, even traveling, because obviously have your priorities, but you might wait in some longer lines. But I waited 30 minutes for the train today with Express.
Less than that.
She waited less because she timed it right. So what's better than Express? Good strategy. Anytime. So I just I would not pay $170 for Express. And that's how much it was for 2 parks standard today. You could have been more expensive for unlimited. It doesn't seem very worth it to me. I talked a little bit. I will tell you about this.
All right.
I talked a little bit about how using Express today made me appreciate how Genie has caps on the windows. Ooh. Because what happens with Express is because there are no caps, that makes it much easier. You don't have to plan. There's no chance that you won't get a lightning lane that you want. But there can be backup. And I waited 27 minutes, I think, all in for Gringotts, or that was the train. But I waited a long time for something. And I paid so much money for that. And it was like, okay, well, what am I even paying for at this point? Even if I did save some time. Whereas with Genie, I'm paying $15 per person per day. Yeah. And when I get a lightning lane, I am walking on.
Yep.
Like, I'm waiting 4 minutes, 8 minutes. So it definitely made me, I usually say like, oh, Express is better because it's less confusing. But I think just because of the price, Genie feels a little more worth it than Express to me if you have good strategy. But I do think, like, flat out, if you're not counting the price, Express is way better. You don't even have to think about anything, just go get on your ride.
Yeah, if you're not thinking about price at all, which, you know, if you're one person or 2 people, it might be easier to
Or
do
if you're
that.
getting it as a part of your hotel stay, which is an amazing perk.
Which I've had a lot of friends do, and they've said that's the best perk of their hotel. Mm-hmm. I think the Express is better because I love not thinking.
Yeah.
I want to come and I want to enjoy the rides.
No
I want
thoughts.
to enjoy the rain. No thoughts.
Do you want to enjoy the rain?
I mean, you have to. It's Florida.
It's Florida.
If you don't enjoy the rain, you're going to have a bad part of every day.
I will say, I did speak to several AllEars viewers today who said that they got deluxe hotels just for Express and considered it 100% worth the extra they were paying on hotels. Because you're also getting a nicer hotel. So that's
balance.
that's the pro tip, is if you want Express and you're considering staying at Universal, consider a deluxe hotel, because it probably will be cheaper to pay per night at deluxe hotel than to pay for another hotel and for Express.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I obviously had a great day not waiting in line, and that's great and everything. But also, when you're with friends, lines aren't that bad.
Yep.
Grab a beer, get in a line. That's kind of how I do Universal for fun.
Yep.
And even with my friends who travel in, we don't typically buy Express because it is just so outrageously expensive.
A good thing about Universal too is 99% of the time it is not as busy as Disney.
It's true.
So even their biggest rides have lower wait times than some of the normal Disney rides.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, I had a great day. You had a lot of waiting today.
I had a long day, but a good day.
Oh, that's good. And that's just science, baby.
That's science for you.
Science for you.
Check.